Hi everyone, it's time for another battle report, and this time it's the first game of a local tournament with 6 people attending, where all but one actually already have featured in earlier videos. First game was against Karl-Johan, who you have seen playing his Highborn elves before, but this time he plays a Warriors of the Dark Gods army. Myself, I see this not only as a fun tournament, but also as a great way to practice for the Swedish Championship. So I have brought my Dread Elves exactly the same as last game. All of the games have a battle line deploy as an attempt to speed the games up a bit, and for this game we hold the ground as a secondary objective. I got to show side, and I didn't want the swamp to limit my decision on which flank to deploy, and perhaps it would make him want to deploy more to the other side. Taking the scenario into account, I probably had been better off with him on my side, since the Buddha Impossible would have made it hard for him to get to the middle. He wanted me to deploy first, so we alternated until I dropped my blocks and characters on my right and the altar more to the middle. For spells I got Blizzard, Stars Align and Lightning Storm on my level 3. The level 1 got Thunderbolt. Since he had so many single models and knights, I thought the missile spells would be quite handy. He only have his 2 bolt thrower bound spells. From my right we have a bolt thrower, Corsairs with a level 1, Blades, another bolt thrower in the forest, Tower Guards with the Prince, Harpies in front, the last bolt thrower, Raiders and the Chariots, and the level 3 behind the hill. He has a very symmetrical deploy, so from his right are some knights, hounds, a shrine, a warrior block, a chariot, another block with the BSB, second shrine, the third block, more hounds, the general, chariot and some knights. For Vanguard I move my raiders up a bit. My plan going into this was to hang back for a turn or two and just shoot things down and then move for the center objective. I'm a bit worried about all his relatively tough scoring units, and I think I will have a really hard time preventing him from winning the objective. I'm pretty confident that I can kill his chariots before they do much harm, but the knights is something of a thorn in my side. The bolts have other things to aim at, and my knight killing units are in the middle, and they could potentially be held back for a last turn move to the objective, which I'm a bit worried about. But as long as I don't wait too long, my tower guards should be able to get rid of some of the warrior blocks, or at least one. First turn, and I'm fairly confident that he won't just stand still and hog the objective, but I want to see which side of Buddha he will go before I commit, so I just move into range and then hang back. For magic I get Lightning Storm off on his shrine. It failed to do any wounds, and then jumps to the dogs, killing 2. The dogs panic and the lightning jumps to the knights, killing 1. Shooting then, and my bolt thrower on the top gets a good start and one-shots his lord. And then I think I only do a wound to the chariot on my left, but I'm very satisfied so far. He starts off by declaring a charge on my raiders with his chariot. He needs an 11, and if he makes it, his chariot is easy pickings, so I'm not that worried. He makes it in with a lust reroll, and then he mostly just move up, keeping his lines together. He gets one wave of transformation off on my harpoon chariot, doing 3 wounds. Unfortunately, my harpist stands in the way, preventing my guards from charging the chariot, so I start off by charging the harpist to his warhounds, thinking to trade one chaff for another, and the guards then charge his chariot. The chariot flees and the guards fail while the harpists make it in. Since he has me in a crescent and knights are still a problem, I continue to hang back. In magic I get another lightning storm off on the shrine, doing no wounds this time either, but then killing one warrior. I also managed to 1-dice blizzard on his knights just to get a token, really. So for shooting I bag both his chariots and the harpists break and run down the dogs, but they end up in combat with the warriors, so that's trade is done there. So next he does another 11-inch charge when the knights manage another last reroll on my rightmost bolt thrower. Both his beasts come on the board behind the corsairs. His knights on the left hide behind the hill while the rest of his army hangs back. That makes me a bit worried, since it means that I need to advance if I don't want to tie this game, and two of my scoring units are a bit occupied on my right. For magic he only kills one tower guard, and my bolt thrower actually kills a knight before dying, which is pretty awesome. The harpists die quickly as predicted. My turn 3, and first off I charge the blades against his knights and I make it in. Other than that I move the altar and tower guards up on either side of the Buddha. Corsairs swift reform to shoot the beast and block it from charging the oracle in case I should fail to kill it. For magic I get Thunderbolt off on his shrine on my right, doing 1 wound. Shooting unfortunately only managed to get 2 wounds in on one of the beasts, and also some wounds on the left shrine. Then in combat my blades managed to get 3 wounds past the knight's armor, but the last knight stick nonetheless. On his turn he charged the spawns into the blades, and other than that only his knights changed their facing towards the middle. For his magic phase I pick out my scroll when he tries to finish off the harpoon chariot. In combat I kill the last knight, but unfortunately I only do 2 wounds to the unwounded fallen beast in the back, so I end up losing, but thankfully I stick. My turn again, and first I charge the altar against his warriors on my left. It's a 50-50 charge, so it's a bit risky, but in the end he decides to flee, so I redirect and fail on the other warriors. The tower guards move up as fast as possible, and the corsairs swift reform, and I desperately will attempt to run for the middle. The chariots back out of charge arc from the knights, and in the magic phase I use 4 dice to cast blizzard on his middle warriors, since I don't want him to triple charge me. Unfortunately I miscast and get breach in the veil, and my level 3 gets sucked into the void, so probably not worth it, since I had a decent chance of weathering a triple charge anyway. Shooting puts a bunch of wounds on the shrine on my right, and in combat I kill both the beasts. His turn, and he double charged the altar with the knights and the shrine, which I hopefully survive, but it might keep the altar from threatening anything in the next turn. The shrine on my right he used to shaft the tower guards, and his warriors turns to face them later. For magic, he gets the spell of doing 1 wound to the unwounded chariot. And in combat my altar do better than expected, killing 3 knights and not taking a single wound in return. Both his units break and I restrain, since I want to charge a warrior unit instead. So it's my turn 5 and the altar flank charge his middle warriors. It's quite risky, since I probably will get the other warriors in the flank, which by the way have rallied. Well, the gods take the shrine, the witch elves use the triple march to perhaps get into business turn 6. The corsairs has the same intent and march as fast as possible. On my left I put a chariot in front of his last knight, hoping it will flee through and die by dangerous terrain test. Magic he stops my thunderbolt, and shooting puts 3 more wounds to his fleeing shrine. In combat I kill his BSB in a challenge, and the warriors stick and then reforms. The tower guards kill the shrine and reforms to a wider formation as to get in range of the middle objective. In his turn he takes the more unambitious road and do not charge the flank of the altar, and instead moves his warriors on my left in range of the objective. His shrine rally and the last warriors move up, probably to stop my scoring units and perhaps get his unit in position for the last turn. The altar wins again, but he sticks on his 7-up break test. It's my last turn, and at this point he has 2 scoring units to my 1 within range, so I make a gamble, probably sacrificing my chariots, charging into his shrine, hoping for a flee or an overrun into his warriors, but with the potential of breaking them in the last turn. On the other flank, the blades and the corsairs charge the warriors to hopefully kill or at least prevent him from getting in range of the objective. I also charge the prince into the flank of the altar combat to guarantee a win and force him to another break test. The chariots get into the shrine and the corsairs reach the warriors. The prince also makes it in, but the blades on the other hand fail their 6 or 7-inch flank charge, which is a real bummer. Magic does nothing, and shooting picks off a warrior and the last knight, who actually rallied on his turn. Combat and the chariots kill the shrine and overrun into his warriors, so far so good. The corsairs lose, but they stick. The prince and the altar actually breaks the warriors, but they fail to catch them. So his last turn, and we have at this point tied the objective. His warriors rally, and in combat my corsairs lose again, but they stick on a 7 rerollable or some such. In the more important combat I first off kill 4 of his, and he needs to kill both chariots to win, which he does. Thinking about it, I should have placed the chariot with the most wounds corner to corner instead of the one with only 1 wound, but I probably had some dumb hope that both could survive. The game ends as 15-5, since we tied the objective, in my favor that is. At first I felt myself lucky that the warriors broke from the altar, but to stay they would have been forced to pass 4 leadership 7 break tests without reroll, so that probably went as it should have. I was probably more lucky to break both his Shrine and Knights when they charged the altar, which would have lowered my chances to keep him from the center. His placement of the beast was probably the most important in the end, since it kept 2 of my scoring units from the main fight. I'm very satisfied with this pretty decent win, and I didn't do that many mistakes, I think, so I was confident going into game 2, which will come online pretty soon. So see you then.